Hey CDA and welcome back to Dune Spice Wars. We are currently playing the Atreides and we are trying to go for a political victory. And if you didn't know it, because I didn't until I just found out, if you press I, you can actually see what special items are in a region as well as the wind strength. So that's really convenient and I wish I found that out a lot sooner. Let's see. We are going to focus fire down the ranged militia in the back. Hopefully that will work like I want it to. There we go. And then after that we can take down the tanky units over there. Yeah, we also got a new agent that is actually able to produce 20% more intel and will give us an influence bonus as well. And we're going to put her in the Landraad because, well, that will give us some extra influence as well as intel. So might as well. Now, let's see, what else do we want to do? We want to make sure we work towards this zone over here that has a huge amount of wind strength and another spice field. And in the meanwhile, we can grab this zone, which is going to be really convenient, considering it has rare elements, and that's also something we will definitely want at some point. We are probably going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. We can actually start the peaceful annexation maybe just after we take this one. We do need to make sure we have enough for this. We don't quite have enough for both of them. This is a pretty guarded city, as you can see. It has 5 units in it, so we definitely don't want to overstretch ourselves, and we also definitely do not want to lose this unit. So let's make sure we move around. Where's the worm? It's over there. The harvest is already getting picked up, so that's fine. And we're just going to kite this unit around because we don't want to lose it, and the AI is stupid. So we do want to move this one away because it can't shoot if it's in melee range. There we go. And little things like this will definitely make your combat easier if you do it properly. So right now we actually have quite a few interesting options. We can either go for this spice field that no one else seems to be even close to, although there is a village with 5 defense in the middle of that. We can also go for the pole, the polar sink, which has a huge amount of water in it. If we build a water extractor there. And strangely enough, the Harkonnen don't seem to be in a rush to take this, although I think they literally just went here. So that could also mean that we go and take this one, and then we can probably see if we can take control of this one after that. Before we do that, however, we might also want to pass through this zone first. Actually, let's skip that and see if we can go straight for that one before we do that. Now, we have another sandworm, which is close to this one, that will be going to be picked up. Let me check on my spice report. We are just doing fine there. Yay, the things passed, and apparently we got the other 2, but we did get our way with the smugglers, so at least we have that one going for us. I don't really care about the military power too much, or the influence for that matter, but that will make fighting a lot more difficult actually. So that means we might have to adjust our plans. We won't be able to take this village now, I think, with just 3 units, considering we basically have 2 units based on our strength. So that means we are going to have to train maybe a heavy weapon squad. Yeah, why not? That will actually help us push through. And in the meanwhile, what we could actually do maybe is go and peacefully annex this area over here. While we're having to wait for this one anyway. Peacefully annexation does take quite a long time, 12 days. But this is a zone that otherwise we would not be taking anyway. So I don't want to work towards that spice as well, so we're kind of multitasking at the moment. I just want to have the option to grab this in case anyone else comes close, but honestly there's a deep desert in between, so it's very unlikely that anyone is ever going to try to take this because of that reason. Now we also just unlocked the technology that allows us to crew our harvesters with 1 more crew, but we don't really have the manpower to do that. So I think we actually are going to set some more crew production over here, some manpower production over here, and one of these villages actually had manpower production, I think, as a trait. Yeah, there we go. And if you have anything like that, then the investment office is a very good way. This will also give us 4 manpower, but at a much lower cost than the alternative. Now, what is all of this popping up? It's a sandstorm. Ornithopter, you might want to get out of the sandstorm. Yes, please. And just go explore pretty much anywhere else.
Let's go.
Oh, okay, we have the smugglers over here now. They're quite a bit far away still, so not any problem. They will probably go for the polar sink at some point, but yeah, we can only do so much at the same time. And the peaceful annexation actually also works on enemies, so we don't necessarily need to fight them in order to gain their territory at some point. Now, we should be in a good position to go and attack this one now, and we might have to do some kiting, etc., but nothing too much to worry about. Actually, we don't really have the authority to capture anything at the moment anyway, so it doesn't really make sense to do that. Let's reposition over here. And we might actually want to consider building an airfield somewhere. Do we have anywhere with a free slot? No, not at the moment, so we'll just have to wait for that. Just a little one. So in the last series I was actually completely ignoring spying, or at least most of it, so I thought it might be fun to go for an intelligence agency this time around. To actually help us with recruiting agents even faster and give us 2 additional operation slots. So that's really nice, because then we can have a whole Swiss knife kind of type of operations going on over here. And yeah, getting all that extra influence won't hurt either, of course. Now our units are completely healed up. And let's see, how long will it take for the 30% to get rid of? Well, that will actually take a little while still. We have a lot of spice fields coming up over here. There's actually another one over here as well. Interesting. So these ones are actually connected, so that's quite interesting. So luckily we just got control over this zone. And what shall we build here? Well, we could actually go for a plasticrete factory. That's actually the only thing we can afford at the moment. We might as well, because we are getting quite low on that. So let's go for that. But after that, we'll definitely want to build something more interesting there. Specifically, what we want to build over there, and I just need a empty slot to show you, is, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? A processing plant with 20 Solari production could be really interesting there, because we have the bonus over here, and that will actually allow us to build it here, and it will give us a huge chunk of Solari. But to be honest, we might actually hold off on that for a moment to see if there's something else that we might want to build there. Guys, what you doing? We apparently have the Harkonnen coming for our territory. They only have 3 units, so actually interested to see if they will attack the Harvester or not. I mean, I don't think they will actually. They're just moving straight over it. Now, we are going to sabotage their gear. And that should make them a lot less effective in combat. And then we're just going to take them out like this. And hopefully we should be fine while doing that. Now, they do have quite strong units. And yeah, this is not going to be an easy fight whatsoever. I think we shouldn't have too much trouble pulling these guys off for now. I just want to train a few additional units. I can't, because I don't have the manpower to do so. But now I do, so let's get an additional trooper in here just to be safe. But no, as you can see, they are going down pretty quickly. The only unit taking real damage is this one over here that now died. But we have another unit coming in a moment. And we should be fine holding off. They will be trying to take this over, but with 3 units still able to defend, we should be able to hold them off just fine. We have another round of voting coming up, and is this just me, or is this a spelling error? I don't know, but I want the buff anyway, because 50% Solari upkeep is huge. If you look at how much upkeep we have, it is something like 70, 80, probably even more than that. So that's going to save us up to about 40 Solari per day. I also don't really want this debuff, because that's going to make our agents a lot less able to do their thing. So we're just going to grant the Harkonnen that, and I'm just going to go and spend all my votes on that. I'm going to support the military service. It's probably going to pass one way or another, and well, that will give us a little bit more hegemony as a result of that. Well, that was fun. My save game somehow got bugged, so I actually had to redo part of this episode. Now, I'm still building the intelligence center over here. I do think I conquered this specific village that I didn't have before. I also annexed this one over here in the peaceful manner. And I'm currently building an airfield over here, because that will allow my troops to be a lot more efficient in transporting around. Now, I did actually lose a harvester due to a sandworm for some reason, even though it was automatically being retracted or redeployed. But yeah, apparently that's not a perfect solution either, and sandworms can and will still eat your harvesters. So that also means I have to put in the crew once again. It actually takes a while for those things to regenerate as well. So all in all, that was not necessarily something I would like to happen again. But hey, you deal with what you get. Now, let's see, we can also see if we can detect any more sieges. We did actually detect a siege all the way down here. And we're currently trying to trade with it in order to get a nice little bonus for our militia once we ally with them. So, all in all, going pretty well. But yeah, these bugs are a little bit annoying, but then again, the game is still in early access, so can't complain too much. But yeah, you probably would prefer your games to be without bugs. It's actually the first game-breaking bug that I have encountered so far in several playthroughs, so it's not that bad, but things can and will happen when it's early access. So, let's see where we take it from here. So a lot of good things are happening. First of all, we took spice field number 4, which is really amazing. At the same time, we also have a high Landsraad standing at the moment. And by the way, Landsraad is pretty much a Dutch word, so yeah, there's a lot of Dutch type of influences in this game. Anyway, that means we get more bang for our buck when we trade off our spice. We get more votes, we get more influence, and we get a lot of bonus hegemony, so that's really good. And on top of that, we now get to vote. Now, the main vote here is to basically have your base be in danger. We don't really care who gets that, but we might as well just vote for the House Harkonnen, because why not? I can't vote for myself, actually, but honestly, it's probably going to fall on me, because they like ganging up on me. All infiltration levels are reduced by 2, works for me, considering we have 0 at any faction at the moment, so why not? And this one is the main one, 50% buildings construction cost reduction. That's huge, so we're going to pour pretty much all our votes into that. Now, I think 200 votes should be overkill, most likely, but hey, might as well go for it. I mean, the Solari upkeep was really nice, so might as well benefit from this as well. And yeah, let's just vote a little bit for this and a little bit for that. We have quite a huge amount of influence production at the moment, so we might as well use some of it. And yeah, we are actually going to see if we can move our army back. Now, let's hope the worm is not going to murder our harvester once again. That would be a shame. But this time, luckily, we are back in time. And in the meanwhile, we're going to go straight through this deep desert. Now, honestly, the next target we are probably going to aim for is maybe the Polar Sink. Because honestly, we are only one zone away from actually capturing that. I'm not entirely sure which one we want to take, honestly. So this zone has a 20% resource production bonus. And we'll take 130. This is only 113, and this has the... oh, this actually has a plus 100% data center and listening post bonus, which comes in handy when you're trying to be a spy. So let's go for that. And as we are preparing an attack on our neighboring zone over here, we are actually in the process of getting some pretty awesome stuff. So we just hit 5k hegemony, and that means that whenever we are affected by a positive resolution, we get a 10% Solari production bonus. If we have a negative resolution on us, we get a 10% unit power bonus. Currently, we have both, because we got the infrastructure control bonus, which is really awesome, but we also got, as predicted, the debuff on our home base. That's not going to be an issue, but we got it anyway. That means we now have stronger troops, and we also have additional Solari production. So that's all good. We actually also got a new agent, which we are going to set to, I think, some Coam infiltration. And on top of that, we also have a pretty high standing, so that will give us a lot of bonuses. All in all, things are going pretty well. We also found a new siege, which we are now trading with to get some additional spice as well as reputation. And in the end, we'll get even more Solari production. So we're going to have Solari coming out of our noses pretty quickly from soon. We are also going to attack this. Meanwhile, our neighbors seem to be fighting. The Fremen are actually capturing one of the smugglers' villages over here. Not entirely sure why they're doing that, but they're doing that anyway. Meanwhile, the smugglers are actually trying to attack this. Now, they actually didn't capture it, but they devastated it, so we'll need to wait a moment before we can actually capture the polar sink. Honestly, it's kind of convenient, because that means no one can capture this for the moment, so I can save up some authority to actually do the same thing for us. So all in all, a lot of things happening, but pretty much only good things. Now, where is this damaged unit? It's over here. Let me see, can we capture this? Yes, we can. So we'll soon have this one, and we can put a nice infiltration station over here. We're also going to save up some plascrete because, well, building something here with a huge discount is going to be pretty awesome. Well, it seems like the Fremen are doing a very good job at being our main competitor. They are currently taking out this zone as well, although it seems that they're kind of struggling with that. We might actually want to interfere here for a moment and just take out their one unit. I mean, I can be nasty. And the thing is, actually, we are currently at 100% relationship level with this siege. But right now, oh wait, they're going to take this so quickly, we're never going to make that. Anyway, we are at 100% relationship level, but because we are not a Fremen, we can't actually ally with them unless we control the zone. So I kind of forgot about that after playing the Fremen the last couple of days. But yeah, that is a thing you need to be aware of. Like I said, the different factions do play quite differently. So what do we have over here? Economy development's completion speed is increased by 50%. That sounds really good, honestly. So let's put in about 200 votes for that. We have all the influence, might as well spend it. Don't necessarily care about everything else. We definitely do not want this to happen, so let's just dump our remaining votes into that. We can probably get away with a little less than this, so let's go with this. And yeah, well, to be honest, I don't really care what happens about this, so let's see how this works for us. Now, we do still have a couple of days of the 50% reduction on cost. We are going to complete this in 2 days, so that will be quite convenient. We can actually place a second building as well. We traded some plascrete with the smugglers, I believe. Yes, with the smugglers. They paid us a huge amount of spice as well, so as you can see, we have even more spice than we need, and we're only halfway through the next tax collection, so that's really convenient. We also got a new agent, so we're doing quite well on the entire agent production thingy. I would want to put this into the Arrakis, but that's not going to work. I don't necessarily have a reason to want more manpower either, so this will have to do for now. I could actually go and infiltrate the others as well. To be honest, the smugglers are almost out of the game at this rate. Not entirely sure what they're doing, but winning isn't part of it. Honestly, the other factions aren't doing all that much either, so we are really steamrolling this particular playthrough. We are currently saving up enough authority to take the polar region, and once we have that, we can basically just turtle up and collect our reputation and go for the political victory from the zones we currently have. So we have a couple of more research special effects across the map. I think this is one more of them. It's going to give us a military development, not necessarily what I want, but hey, I'll take it. I mean, it's better than nothing, right? Is this also going to be military? Yep, it is. We're running out of interesting things on the map to explore, but yeah, it's going pretty well, so can't complain. You see this? This is where a harvester used to be. A harvester with 2 crew in it. Anyway, on the bright side, we actually got our support for economy developments, so we are definitely going to have to make use of that. And we also just managed to start building a new building in our headquarters, and I figured why not go for the command post. We don't necessarily have a specific use for that, but being able to have 20% additional power to our military, and as well as having 12 command points at our disposal in case we want it, can't hurt. We have a fairly small army at the moment, although it doesn't seem... Well, the Harkonnen are really spreading out now, so I have no idea, honestly, what's going on in this game. They don't seem to really be prioritizing these spice fields. The Fremen are doing pretty well, but other than that, well, they're taking that out on the smugglers. So, honestly, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, there's a spice field right over here. Did the difficulty get bugged or something? I have no idea. But, yeah, can't complain. I mean, honestly, we are in a pretty stable... Let me rephrase it like this. There's nothing happening to us that is really impacted by what the other ones are doing. So even if we were playing at something like hard or insane, we would probably still be in the same position as we are now. So even if the difficulty is bugged, because we're not actually competing directly with the others, I'm not actually sure it matters. I mean, this spice field is normally the one the smugglers would have taken. Probably this one as well. I'm not entirely sure where the Fremen are actually here, so they would have taken this one, and, well, maybe that one, or something else is probably in this area as well. The Harkonnen, I'm not entirely sure why they're not taking this one. Am I missing something here? No, I don't think so. Yeah, honestly, I have no idea. Maybe the siege is getting in their way. I mean, I do see some of them fighting with the random spawns now, and because we are starting to be their friends, they are not likely to prioritize attacking us. So we have that going for us, but yeah. The Harvester will be respawning. The alternative could have been that we could actually have gone for this building, the Harvester Works, which is a really good building. I really was doubting whether or not I should be building this one instead of the Military Academy, or what is it? Command Post, sorry. And honestly, it would have probably been the more optimal choice, other than the fact that I did want to get the bonus for the military research as well. Because if you have one building in a district like this, you get 20% bonus to military research. So figured I would pick that up while we were still researching military stuff. But yeah, the Harvester Work really gives you a nice bonus because it gives you 5% gathering rate per economy building in its village. Considering the refinery is actually in an economy building, you will always get a 5% bonus to every harvester in your game from that point on. The respawn time in case of things like this doesn't hurt either. And, well, it's very easily done to get 1 or 2 more economy buildings at least in your spice villages. So, yeah. It's a pretty good building to go for. But yeah, we made a different decision. We are now also in a pretty close position to have enough authority to start attacking this village, so that will be where we go next from here. And ladies and gentlemen, we are now the proud owners of the Polar Sink, and that will allow us to build the water extractor over here, which will give us 50 water, as you can see. So that's going to be pretty amazing. Now, for some reason, worms are all over the place. I actually just lost another Harvester, so yeah, okay. I mean, I was just complaining about the difficulty, and now apparently we have worms everywhere, so I'm not entirely sure about that. Don't forget that you will actually have to redeploy your spice harvesters. And sandworms, really? Another one? It's like sandworms everywhere. Now, for some reason, the auto recall every now and then does turn itself back off. Especially in the case of new harvesters, so I think that makes sense, but it seems that every now and then they are getting to be... Oh, the hegemony stage of our opponents has been unlocked as well. Now remember that you do have to recrew your harvesters as well. So painful, so painful. Anyway, redeploy, and apparently we are now under attack from random stuff. That's interesting. So why is this siege attacking us? I mean, we're also good friends. Don't attack us. That's not nice. Although, as you can see, our military is actually quite strong. So that's going according to plan, I would say. But we're going to have to take out these guys out, because I don't think these units will take care of it by themselves. Although they are not doing a bad job at all, to be fair. Alright. So, we have a water extractor over here now. So what else? What are we low on? Plascrete? Why are we low on Plascrete? I have no idea why we're low on Plascrete. How much is this one taking? Oh, 12. Is that why we're low? That doesn't make much sense, does it? Well, apparently it does. Well, in that case, let's just build another Masquerade extractor over here. It's a pretty cheap building, so we might as well. And as the Harkonnen are launching a futile attack on us, I have no idea why, considering we were right next door when they did, so all I need to do is just move in. We are going to conclude this episode, like I said. Really? We're just visiting. Don't mind us. We're not doing anything. Oh, wait, we're attacking. Oh, what a total surprise. I had no idea we're going to do that. Oh, wow. These guys are actually getting hammered. Oh, these are our militia, actually. Never mind. Yeah, but like I said, as we conclude this episode, I think we've been doing an excellent job at fortifying our position. Speaking of which, let's actually fortify that. And yeah, we are on a very good position to go towards a political victory. We do actually have to start actively working on that a little bit more, because we will need to do all of these things, and most of that we actually have the requirements unlocked, but we don't yet have the amount of stuff that we need to do that. So for example, we need more infiltration levels for this, we need more water for this, which is very nice because we have that polar sink now. This is kind of tied to that, because once we have this, we actually get Solari bonus as well based on our water production, and you can see that's going to be significant from this point onwards. We actually don't use 25 command points at the moment, so we'll have to build a large army to get this one and get the Northgard unit, and we'll have to just spend more influence in order to get this one. So yeah, all in all, pretty good. I hope you enjoyed this one, guys, and I will hopefully catch you in the next one.